Apologies for the voice. I am severely under the weather. Another thing that's severely under the weather is the Star Wars franchise. There's some amount of curiosity and interest now that Kathleen Kennedy has stepped down. I remain dubious of its prospects, but, hope springs eternal, so we'll see what happens. But here's a new project on the way. Star Wars Maul Shadow Lord. They released a trailer, and it sets up a gritty animated series on DP. So there's Maul. Yeah. So anyway, chains can be broken, empires can be shattered. That's the ominous message heralding the arrival of the teaser trailer for Star Wars Maul Shadow Lord, the newest animated series coming to DP on April 6, 2026. The series kicks off with a 2-episode premiere and will run over 5 weeks, with 2 episodes dropping weekly. Oh wow, I figured they would drop 1 per week, but that's probably not a good sign. But then again, you got to consider the overall health of Star Wars. The Maul show might actually be good, but still, the franchise is very, very weak. As I said, under the weather, like me. Culminating in a finale on Star Wars Day. Oh, you see, this is what happens when I don't read ahead. Perhaps they just want to schedule it to end on Star Wars Day. Still, the franchise is very, very unhealthy at the moment. So anyway, set shortly after the events of the Clone Wars, Shadow Lord follows the former Sith Lord Maul, voiced once again by Sam Witwer, as he sets his sights on rebuilding his criminal syndicate in a dark, gritty metropolis called Janix, a planet untouched by the Empire. The series introduces a new Jedi Padawan, Devon Izara, voiced by Gideon Adlon, who becomes central to Maul's plan for vengeance. Maul may no longer be Darth, but his ambitions remain as ruthless as ever. The teaser hints at a more introspective Maul, showcasing moments of quiet intensity, including a ceremonial tea scene interspersed with brutal action and political maneuvering in the criminal underworld. So here's a look at a poster. Here's our voice cast. Richard Ayoade, I think. He was a guy that was pitched as a potential Doctor Who actor for a while, but he'll be playing Two Boots. I think that's just a nickname for the character, not that he'll actually be two boots walking around. So anyway, there you go. Dennis Haysbert as Master Diodaki. Diodaki. I don't know. Anyway, Vanessa Marshall as Rookcast. Charlie Bushnell as Riley Lawson, Chris Diamantopoulos. Anyway, these guys round out the cast. Gideon Adlon, Wagner Mora as Captain Wagner Mora as Captain Brandon. Anyway, notably, the series brings in Marok, the mysterious Inquisitor introduced in Ahsoka, as well as the feared Inquisitorius, hinting at a major showdown between Maul Imperial agents and Force-sensitive survivors of Order 66. Okay, that's a possibility there. Via StarWars.com, the city of Janix is described as 1 part Gotham, 1 part Metropolis, and 100% Star Wars. Built into a crater and free from direct Imperial rule, Janix is a haven for syndicates and smugglers until Maul arrives to stir the pot. Executive producers Brad Rao and Matt Michnovitz emphasize the serialized nature of the story, with the series designed as a fast-paced, pulpy thriller inspired by classic film serials. Well, that's a good way to look for a template for your storytelling when it comes to Star Wars, because that's what the original was based on, the film serials. The show will explore Maul's shifting ideology, power plays, and relationship with Devon, a young Jedi forced to question everything she once believed. Yeah. Visually, Shadow Lord, Maul gets fat. No, he doesn't. Shadow Lord marks a major leap forward. Cinematography, lighting, and VFX director Joel Aaron returned to classic techniques using real brushstrokes on glass and matte paintings. Wow, that is impressive. Most impressive. To blend tactile texture into the animation. The result is a uniquely stylized Star Wars aesthetic that nods to the past while pushing technical boundaries. Animation director Keith Kellogg and the CGCG team also worked to enhance facial expressions and movement fidelity across characters. Created and developed by Star Wars veteran Dave Filoni and Matt Michnovetz, or Michnovetz, I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm getting it all wrong. I'm pretty sure that's Dave Filoni is how you say it. With Brad Rau as supervising director, Shadow Lord expands on Filoni's vision of the post-Clone Wars era. Executive producer also includes these other people. While the series isn't Maul's first animated adventure, it promises to be his most personal, philosophical, and dangerous yet, diving deep into a character defined by pain, ambition, and the shadows he refuses to leave behind. Star Wars Maul, Shadow Lord, premieres April 6, 2026, only on DP, with 2 episodes followed by 2 per week until the finale on May 4th. So, alright. It certainly sounds interesting. It's just the thing about Maul is a missed opportunity upon missed opportunity. When you hear about George Lucas's sequel treatments and Maul was supposed to be the main villain, there's a lot that makes sense about that. Now, granted, Filoni had already done an animated conclusion to the Maul story, which I gotta say is pretty damn good. And it kind of robs any chance for a spectacular scene in a Kenobi story. And because it happens right there. And I was like, man, just the clip alone of the confrontation, it's really good. And so now it's kind of like, well, his story's kind of over, I mean, what are you going to do? I guess since we've had several characters in Star Wars of late that get gutted by a lightsaber and yet survive it. So, excuse me. But I guess you could do that with Maul. Or they just suddenly say, okay, it's no longer canon. That encounter didn't happen. Which takes away from it because it's pretty good. So I don't know what you'd do. There was this attempt with the Solo film, which I don't care what anyone says. Yes, it's a bad film. But it's nowhere near as bad as the sequel trilogy. And certainly nowhere near. Nothing is anywhere near as bad as Last Jedi. There's a lot of dumb crap out of Star Wars. The Last Jedi was just absolutely cruel and vindictive towards the legacy of Star Wars. But anyway, Solo paid mostly for the sins of Last Jedi. It followed it, But nevertheless, it was setting up this story about Maul being the central villain and being the leader of this criminal syndicate. And I gotta admit, I'm kind of intrigued by the concept. Now, the cartoons followed through with Maul being a continuing character, but it's just too bad it didn't work out. So they're still chasing it. And so they'll do this in another animated series that unto itself might be okay, might not be bad, it might even be great. But the brand damage is so severe for Star Wars. How many are going to show up to give it a shot? Well, I guess we'll find out in April.